Guys, I want to welcome you to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Show. Today, I got a very special guest, Mr. Jeffrey Cronk, who's been a client of ours inside a Habit-Based Lifestyle Accelerator, and I brought him on today. So, Jeffrey, can you give us a brief intro of what you do, and just a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, so I've been a doctor for 31 years. So I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I was practicing for 17 years. I developed 2 spinal injury testing facilities, and we're kind of pioneering in the area of diagnostics with spine injuries. I've been doing that for a long time. I have a diagnostic company, and then I also have a program that we call the Smart Injury Doctors Program, where we teach doctors how to successfully expand into an area of personal injury that's a wide open niche that they can easily do 6-7 figures if they want to. It's a niche that there's virtually no competition in, and we show them that niche. And that's so basically what I do, Jesse, is all been in injuries, spinal injuries, and everything we do is patient based. So it's all about, getting better results for the end user, which is always the patient.
Yeah, let me add this too, because I know there's a lot of chiropractors and possibly even some attorneys listening to this. But if you guys are listening to this, whether you're doing PI or not, what Jeffrey's doing and what I've seen him do with injury doctors is amazing, and even the attorney side of it. So really tap into this, because this could be something in your practice that you haven't even tapped into yet, or I kind of think of this like a pot of gold, right, that no one really knows about. So if you're listening, this is going to be a great episode for you guys. So let me ask you this. Yeah. What were you struggling with, prior to coming into Habit-Based Lifestyle, when we talk specifically about the program that you leverage this for?
Okay, great. So we were struggling with leads. What you got me was on leads, right? So we were struggling because we were trying to figure out Facebook. How do we get leads with Facebook? How do we get leads with YouTube? So leads was our main thing. We were building the back end, and we were building the delivery and everything else, but leads were what we were struggling with the most.
And when you say, Facebook, you were specifically kind of focused on paid ads, paid traffic, and then also the YouTube, paid ads, paid traffic, correct?
Totally. 100%.
Okay, cool. And so what was that affecting on your business, from a perspective of trying to grow?
Well, it's like any business where you're trying to do something, or you're trying to market, and it's not working, right? So you go, and how long does it take for you to realize it's not working? It takes 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, and then you're always like, well, hey, I'm bought into this. We got to figure it out. I got to keep tweaking it. So
right.
It costs you a lot of time, and it's good. It's good information. You learn a lot from it. I learned a lot from it, but it costs you time. It costs you a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, you usually learn what not to do, right, instead of what to do. Let me ask you this: how much money would you say you maybe invested into that to not see a huge return, back?
Easily, I'd say by the time you do everything, production, ads, learning, time, I'd say we spent probably north of 50K.
Okay. And then the return on investment, what would you say you got back?
Okay. So you're going to put me on a podcast and make me pull my underwear down and pull my pants down. And I mean, I'd say if we got $10,000 worth of business. Now, again, we got exposure. So some of those then came in from other ways. So when you're marketing, I never think I lose money.
Right.
Because marketing is investing. So if you were to ask me, did we lose? No. If you asked me how much direct sales did we bring in from that? I don't know, 10, maybe 15,000. Not good.
Hey, don't worry, man. I spent, probably $60,000 and made back about 1,000 a few years ago. So
I
don't feel bad.
Yeah, I won't.
So yeah, you were obviously struggling with leads. That's why you came in here. What was, I know you were trying to expand, and when you came in here, what was the specific reason why you really wanted to step into this, obviously outside of the leads, but really what really made you step into this?
Well, there was two things. One was leads, and two was your presentation and your confidence, and like, look, this is the program that we do. It's not hard to get the leads. And I'm a person that goes, look, you in business, and you know this as well as I do, Jesse, you're going to invest in yourself, you're going to invest in your business, and then you're going to invest in things that can generate you passive income.
Yeah.
So those three things. So I knew I needed to invest in myself. And when I'm investing in myself, I'm investing in my business. So I looked at it. We have two businesses. I said, all right, great. We'll come in. Let me see what you have. You're like my program. You showed me a pot of gold I didn't even know was there. Right? You showed me how to use a tool inorganically, free. It's free.
Right.
You don't have to spend. If you want to spend, great. You can spend money and you can do other things, but this is free. And you taught me an area that I just wasn't looking at.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, results, obviously, that you've gotten out of the program.
I'm going to do one more on that, because I know, like, what we teach in our program is doctors want to actually get more injury patients, right?
Right.
So they don't realize that for every 1,000 patients in their database, there's 110 injury incidents in that database. So they never mind their back end.
Wow.
I mean, we have people that come into our program that have 20,000 patients that they can digitally communicate with, and they're trying to figure out how to develop their injury practice. And we have to say to them, look, you have 2,200 injury incidents in this database every year. You have to communicate back to it. Now, that being said, not a lot of people have a database. They don't have a big database. So what you taught me, which any provider that's out there, any chiropractor, any doctor that wants to actually improve their database, you taught us, just like you would teach any doctor, to use their Facebook to create a base of people that they can. So if they take that 5,000 patient base, they have 550 injury incidents in that base every year, and they're generating patients just like you would teach them to do. There isn't a doctor in the country that wants to grow their practice that couldn't use what you've taught us.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so valuable.
So with that being said, what is an average case worth that you guys may pick up with those, say 250, 500 people, potential 5 to 10K average case?
The doctors?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. 5 to 10K.
Okay. So if we're just talking about pure numbers, I mean, 500 people times 5K minimum, what is that? 2.5 million?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to think that you potentially have that in your practice right now if you have a database of 2,500 people.
Right. So
minimum.
And you taught us how to get to the doctors, but doctors could actually use the same principles to get to their patient database. I mean, when I see people in the HBL accelerator and I see the doctors and the chiropractors, I think, wow, I wish I'd have known this when I was in private practice, because I'd have my own private Facebook group, and then I have my own private materials in it. And then whether people are from my area or not, of course they can join it and they can get information about, I mean, it's just, it was, you so eloquently showed us an area that I just, I guess I'm older, so I guess maybe that was part of it, but I just, I was like, damn.
Trust me, man, no one really knows about this in your industry. Now, being that you're a seasoned chiropractor, a lot of times guys look at us, they're like, dude, you're not a chiropractor. Like, what do you know about chiropractic? And I say, listen, I don't know the specifics of being a chiropractor, but I know the industry. I know about business. Like, how was that for you when you came in, knowing that you've been in the industry a long time?
Well, the thing is, what I learned to do is when I engage in something, I want the best that I can find.
Right.
Right. So I guess when you get older, you go, I don't have as much time to waste. So I'm looking for really good people, like in the area of inorganic or organic Facebook, building your business through organic Facebook and social media. You're the best I've seen. Right. Because you have a particular program. Now, I have other people that I have seen with social media and influencers, and they're good in other ways. But as far as this specific niche of what you teach, you're the best I've seen. If people, ask, okay, great, hey, you can build your own 5,000 patient database, and you can build your own. your own platform or your own private group,
Right.
every member of your practice can be a part of.
Yeah.
It's just like, I would definitely, that would be a practice that I would do, simply because almost no doctors, when I say no doctors, doctors aren't doing it. I didn't know about it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
simply
totally.
not doing it.
Well, let's talk. Okay, so you gave us kind of like an overview of just results you've gotten, but like from a numbers perspective, what would you say was kind of the difference in what you were doing coming in to kind of what you're doing now
Well,
in
the biggest,
revenue?
yeah. So biggest difference, I mean, revenue wise, we were doing, for somebody who's listening, I have 3 different companies that I run. Right. So this is on one of the companies. So Jesse asked me prior to the call, hey, what's the biggest barrier that you're running into? It's me. It's like, I'm the log jam in our stream, because I get a little bit dispersed within these companies, but we're using everything we learned and everything we continue to apply. It's applied to all 3. So, as far as we were probably doing in this company, we're probably doing 10,000 a month. Now we're doing 30 plus, but when I say 30 plus, I mean, if we have a couple sales at the end of the month, we could do 40, 50 on this particular month. But the thing is, the biggest thing that changed is we know how to do it now. We know what to do. Whereas before, I was
Right.
like, I was like the blind guy running around in the dark going, okay, let me try this, or let me try that. Let me try this. Let me try that. And I tried a lot of things. This gave us something where we go, okay, this is a foundational thing that we're going to do. And then we can do other things based on this. We can do other things to add to it. But it really gave for me a clear vision of, when we do this, it produces leads.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it gives you a predictable way of producing leads.
That's a great way to say it. Predictable. Yep.
And that's one of the things that I love about it, is because it's so simple, yet, people often overlook it. Similar to what you're saying is like, hey, we can show you how to make money off your existing clientele just by going back in. And so really what we said is like, hey, we can show you how to make money off of the people you're already friends with, but you haven't ever given them an opportunity to become a client or a customer, because they just don't know what you do. So what was, the other thing that I do remember we transitioned to is you were kind of education based coming in. And the other thing we helped you with was moving into not only education, but application. And so how is that transition, or can you talk a little bit about that transition too?
Yeah, it's been way different. It's been way good, because one of the things when you have a coach or you have a mentor, and been a great mentor in this area, is one, I remember when I first signed up, you sent me a page, or I hadn't signed up yet. You sent me a page, and I was listening to some of the testimonials. And one of the things they said was, you were available, you're readily available, right? Because sometimes you wonder, hey, am I going to sign up? And then, the person's gone.
Yeah.
So I still, to this day, I get Sunday texts from HBL Accelerator where you're going, wow, he's Sunday, Saturday, he's that, and he's still managing his life, because that's what I have to do, right? I do the same thing. So the example that you set is just a great example of, hey, you can do this, you can grow, and you can manage and balance. As far as like transitioning into being more, hey, what's the benefit? What are the benefits here? And let's get out of the features. Let's get out of the education. Let's get more direct to the benefit. I think we're 100% better. I think in another year, we'll be probably another 100% better, right? Because it's like anything else. You engage, you learn, you engage with the environment, you learn, you apply. So that your programs had a pretty profound effect on that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if you guys are listening, Jeffrey came in primarily selling education. And then what we pushed him into, or at least, we offered like, hey, here's where clients may be getting better results is you get into not only education, but teaching people how to apply this into their business. So what I say, man, is you went from an education company to a results-based company. that provides an education, but also provides the results for people to get, which is really cool to watch and see. And what's been really cool is, we've actually had a few customers come from both of us, and it's cool to really watch them learn and grow too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing that you helped me with is when you go from education based to results based, your responsibility level has to go up.
Yeah.
Right. Your responsibility to your end user has to go up, which has been a really phenomenal transformation for me and watching you. And when we got involved with you, because we had to say, hey, we're not taking responsibility for the results. This is great. You got education, but are they applying it? Good. If they're not applying it, it's not going to get any results. So when you take responsibility for, you have to increase your responsibility of in your product and service. Right. So that people really can, hey, it's too complicated. Good. Let's decomplicate it. Hey, they're having a hard time with this, whatever you're hitting. Okay, let's create a resource for them so that this makes it easier for them.
Right. Yeah, I love that, man. Let me ask you this. What has been an unexpected result for you guys inside this program?
I think the biggest one you hit on was predictability. All of a sudden, we had predictable leads. We had predictable and something that we could sink our teeth into, that no matter what else we did, this baby works. And you know what? You have time in it. So you can't say, I guess it's free, because you do have time in it, but it's not, it's virtually free. You're not exchanging cash for these leads.
Yeah. And I mean, we could say, outside of obviously paying for the program, you didn't have to buy a funnel. You didn't have to do a landing page or get a copywriter. Here's one that I'm going to throw at you because, I love this kid. I miss actually seeing him on calls, but the unexpected result for me is to watch your son grow in that period of time we worked with him into a guy that's like pretty elite at what he does. So that's one of my unexpected results to see. I don't know if he's hanging around with you, but
he is. He's
tell him I miss him. So
yeah. He is. Yeah. And it was really cool because you were acknowledging me at times in the ways that when you have kids, sometimes you go, oh yeah, I got to be more acknowledging to, so you were picking him up. And, when Caleb would say, hey, if you, have you ever thought about changing your job? And he'd come in and say, hey, Dad, I think I'd go to work for these guys. And I was like, all right. What do we need to do? So it was a good experience for both of us.
Yeah. I mean, he's done amazing. And it's really cool to watch you guys grow as a business, from where you were coming in education based to now transformation, results based company. And then just to watch him be able to kind of grow through that too it's been really cool to watch. So,
well, I tell you what, we appreciate what you did for us, because it was really, really helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We love it. So what would you tell someone? So say we got a chiropractor, maybe he's on the fence or maybe he's on the brink of getting adjusted. What would you tell him about maybe coming into this program if he's on the fence?
If he's on the fence, stop looking like it as an expense and look at it like an investment. It's an investment. Once you understand the infrastructure, what Jesse's trying to show you how to build, you have it forever. It's not something that you're going to keep getting fish from this pond that you built, that he's going to show you how to build. You're going to get fish in it forever. It's going to continue. It doesn't stop. It just continues. So, it's like anything else. Yeah, it's scary. Okay, you want to spend the money, spend the money. And the other thing I'd say is that one of the things that I know I teach and people have to learn is they'll say to your customer base, a lot of chiropractors, oh, people don't have money. They don't have money. They don't have choices. It's just really drying up. It's really scary. They don't have money. Well, you attract the people, the people that are attracted to your patient base are how you buy.
Yep.
So if you buy and you go, hey, I'm willing to stretch, I'm willing to make an investment, I can make a decent, quick decision, and I trust my ability, you're going to find that your patient base is going to change as well. And so, it just depends on it. First of all, you have a lifetime of money that you create.
Yep.
It just passes through your hands anyway. This is something where you invest in. And like I said, we will never stop using our Facebook private user group, and what we learned on how to actually get engagement. We'll never stop using it. We'll use it
Yeah.
forever.
That's awesome. Well, hey man, I really appreciate you coming on today. Appreciate you guys just as not only I mean, kind of like business partners, right? So hopefully we can support each other in the future. And then anything I can help you with, please let me know.
Jesse, and that likewise goes to us anytime, because one of the things that's interesting, you don't flow enough power back to some. You gave us a lot of power, right? So anytime, any chance you say, hey, we jump on a call like this, if you need anything, you just let us know, because we really appreciate what you did for us and what you continue to do for us. It's not like it's over.
Yeah, for sure.